Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We have a goal in mind. To be very specific, this mount. And yeah, I get it. It looks like something a level 10 Forsaken can buy and ride around. So much more. And it is going to take us down a very long and windy rabbit hole into some of WoW's very earliest content. So, as this is only going to be part 1 of that guide, yeah, let's get into it. So the first step in this process is to access Scholomance, which you may be thinking that's not that hard, Grim. This isn't going to take very long at all. We just need to fly to Western Plaguelands and go into Scholomance. I forgot to say old Scholomance. Yes. For those of you unaware, Scholomance was removed in Mists of Pandaria and replaced with new Scholomance, which we have today. But thanks to those clever boffins over at the Secret Discord, we now know how to unlock old Scholomance and gain access to it. So, obviously first things first, we need to head to Scholomance. As I'm playing Horde, simple enough, go to the Undercity portal, then just fly to Western Plaguelands. If you're Alliance, it's pretty much similar. You can go to Gilneas or wherever's going to take you close enough and then just fly to the Plaguelands. And that is going to take us, thanks to the power of editing, basically to Scholomance, which is on this small island. Now, we are going to require one major thing for this to work. A toy, the Bag of Horrors. If you don't have this, don't worry too much. You just need a friend that does. You're going to see why a little bit later on. At this point, we just need to head into Scholomance and kill everything. I'm sure you're aware that this is not a current max level dungeon, so I don't think you need to see me one-shotting everything in here, so why don't we just skip ahead a little bit. Okay, so here we are, the final boss fight. We actually need to end up in that room on the top floor, which used to be, that's where the original boss fight was, but the gates are locked, so yeah, let's just get this bit out of the way. Oh look, that was pretty painless. But now that's going to unlock all of the doors around this area. As you can see, the portcullises have risen. So now we can head upstairs. That's the door we came in from. We want basically the opposite side. As you can see, we're just going to run around. Now, once in this room, we want to head all the way to the very back. And just to the left, before we hit the back wall, by one of the coffins that's there, there is going to be a pile of bones. In amongst that pile of bones, there you have the old-fashioned yellow hue to them. There's actually like a white gleaming bone within that. That's where we need to stand. Or if you're here with a friend who has a toy, that's where they need to stand. Once we have changed our appearance, a ghost will appear, terrified that we're going to torture them. All we need to do then is to remove the buff. You can see up here we have a buff. We just remove that. Go back to our old appearance, and she's like, oh, hang on a minute. You're not that terrifying ghost I thought you were. Fine. For a second, I can talk to somebody and not be terrified. I actually need your help. And this is what then starts our quest, for want of a better term. And once we're done talking to Eva, we are able to loot the white bone that we're stood on. We're going to need that for the ritual. We're also going to receive a spectral essence, which is going to need a number of components to make it work. You can farm these in the world. To be fair, I just go to the auction house. At the moment, the prices are pretty low. And at the moment, conveniently, people are stood right outside the front with auction house mounts. So yeah, I would say I did try and go and farm some of these components, the undeathly essences, but it just is so much quicker just to buy them off the auction house. And as I say, it seems to be, at least at the moment, the prices are relatively cheap. I think it's cost me like 600 gold in total. So yeah, save yourself some time and just buy them off the AH. So however you've got it, you have your 3 Dark Ruins and have your 5 Essence of Undeath. What we need to do is now right click on our inert spectral essence, which was given to us by Eva, and that will create the spectral essence, which is a trinket that will allow you to see dead people. Which is super convenient because the grounds around Scholomance are littered with dead people that, again very convenient, have candles to sell us, and we require 5 candles for the ritual. But they're gonna want things in return. So we need to equip our newly created level 29, I think it was, trinket. And then if we head on in, you will see that all of a sudden the place is entirely populated by ghosties. Interestingly enough, there are some merchants in here. Probably the one that you're going to want to check out is inside the blacksmith, which is just to the left of the main fountain. It's got some plans to sell, may want to check it out just to see if there's something of interest for you. Now, speaking of the fountain, the first object we can pick up that we're going to require is a bucket of water, which is just sat very conveniently on the side of the fountain here. 1 down, 4 more to go. Now, I will say links to all of these items are going to be down in the description, so you can just click on that, go to whatever waypoint, and do it whatever order you want. But we are going to head to Andorhal next up and collect the deeds. Now, this took me ages. I was running around this place, outside, inside, and you're even going to see here, I've cut parts of it, but still I'm checking everything to see where this thing is. Just don't be me. Run into the main room of the town hall, and to your right hand side, nailed to the wall, you're going to see the deeds of Andorhal, which we will eventually get to after I have apparently checked every piece of detritus in this. Just turn around, Grim. It's nailed to the wall. Turn around, buddy. Come on, you can do this. There we go. You can see it there on the wall. I'm about to click on it. There we go. Finally. So yes, you now own the deeds to a town filled with ghosts. Lucky us. Yay. Speaking of towns filled with ghosts, we are off to Eastern Plaguelands next, and we are off to the culling of Stratholme, where we need to collect a undelivered packet of cigars. I guess ghosts really like cigars, or at least, I don't know. Anyway, what we need to do is just head inside, hang a left, and then hang a left again. I'm sorry I have to kill and loot all these, but it's gold, I have to. So yes, basically left again, and you will come to a dead end with a fountain. Believe it or not, to the right of that fountain is legitimately a tobacconist that's been there for time immemorial. There's quests linked with it and all sorts. But we don't actually want that building. What we want is the broken cart that's behind the fountain. Because on that cart is a tiny little package which you really can't see unless you're right on top of the cart itself. So let's skip ahead of me searching and actually see where the cart and the package are located. Okay, so of course this didn't take me 5 minutes of searching, but yeah, you can see there's the fountain, here's the cart, and right on the very back of it is a small package. I was looking for a giant crate. Yeah, I was wrong. Don't be me. Go to the cart, click the package, and then you're done. You can just leave here. You need no more. Instead, we are heading south, staying in Eastern Plaguelands. See you there. So here we are, hovering in the air above Corran's Crossing. We want to look for the tavern here because that is where the road ahead, the fine painting by Renfray, I think it is located. Basically, it is just next to the bar before you would head into the kitchen. It's the same layout as every tavern. So yeah, there's the painting. We collect, and then we need our final item, a poor little teddy bear. Let's go get it. So here we are in Darrowshire, probably home to one of the saddest quest lines in WoW, but I won't spoil that for those that haven't done it. You will see here, Scourge Meat Wagon. By its wheel is our poor trampled dolly. We collect that, and we're all done. It's time to head back to the town of Scholomance and hand in all of our collected items so that we can gain our candles. I will say, if you're struggling to find the 5 candle merchants, one, I will put a link to all of them with the waypoint markers down in the description. Secondly, there are 3 that are inside the town near the dungeon, but 2 of them are actually located just outside of the town. You can see here Rory, I believe, is on the docks. Hey Rory. And for those eagle-eyed, you will spot in my bag, I already have the journal we require, but I haven't mentioned it anywhere in the video so far. Yeah, I did all of this out of order, but then I helped a friend go through all of this, and we did it in the order I'm doing it in this video, and it was infinitely quicker than it took me. So yeah, learn from my mistakes, friends. So this is the last candle we require. Renfray the artist will give you back your painting. Then it is time to head in and get said journal. For this, we're heading back into Scholomance. We're going all the way to where the lessons are taking place, just before you get to the very last boss. We want to head to this bookcase, and this takes some finagling, but you can just about see. I had to zoom my camera in and angle it down a little bit. There is Eva's journal. I will say, I'm not entirely sure if you couldn't just run back after talking to Eva and grab it then. I didn't do it, so I don't want to suggest you can do it if you can't and you waste time. But yeah, potentially, when you've grabbed the femur at the very start, run back out and just check that, because it may save you a decent amount of time. But anyway, we now have everything we require for the ritual. So for this, we need to be back outside of the dungeon. We need to head as if we were going to go into the dungeon, but rather than go left, which is the door into the instance, we're going to head right. There, we will then see this little room all on its own, and there's a metal grate in the middle of the room, as you can see me stood on it now. Once there, we simply right-click on the book. If we have all the components, the ritual shall begin, and then we get stuck inside of the font. Yeah, it spawns right on that grate, so don't stand on the grate. Stand just to the side of it. Don't be like Grim. And that's it. We now have access to old, original Scholomance on all of our characters. Once you have done this once, all of your characters will now have access. So the instance version, as we walked into this castle, on the left-hand side is still the same. That is Mists of Pandaria Scholomance. But if you come to the right-hand side, head to this book, as I say, which is available for all. Click on it. We are now in original, old-school Scholomance, where we can collect all sorts of funky transmogs, as well as the next part of our quest for the undead mount. But that is going to be in part 2 of this video series. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe, subscribe for more of these ramblings, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Ladies, everyone.